Hey everybody, this is Beetle, and we are going to be talking about Injustice 2. If you haven't heard the news, there's been some teasing from Ed Boon, one of the creators of Mortal Kombat. There's also been some, I guess you could say, leaks with the Black Canary actress talking about game development and stuff like that. Anyway, I think we've got enough evidence to assume that Injustice 2 is going to be coming fairly soon. That's probably going to be announced fairly soon, possibly at E3. So because of all this that's been going on, I thought it might be interesting to take a look at some of the characters that I personally would love to see in Injustice 2. So, the returning characters, I really liked the characters in Injustice, but some of them, I don't really need them. The ones that I'd really like to return the most would be Batman, Flash, Green Arrow, Superman, Aquaman, Green Lantern, and of course, Wonder Woman. Those are the heroes. The villains, I'd really like to see Joker, Harley, Sinestro, Black Adam, and personally, I'd really like to see Grundy come back. I really liked Grundy. As far as new characters go, this is the big thing I wanted to talk about. Now, obviously, because we don't know too much about the story, it's going to be very hard to talk about new characters coming in. We can generally assume that all of the heroes are going to be in there. By the way, I didn't mention Cyborg. It's not that I don't like Cyborg. I just, okay, I'm not a huge Cyborg fan, so I could do without him. But I would definitely want to see him involved in the story, just not really playable. And there are a few characters that are kind of like that for me. But back to the new characters. Since we don't really know what the story is going to be, we can, take guesses, but I mean, they're just going to be guesses. It's really hard to talk about what characters might be introduced, but purely on a level of characters that I like and would like to play as and think that it would be cool to play as in an Injustice kind of game, I'm going to give you my list of characters that I'd really like to see. And I'm going to start it off with Black Canary. I always wanted to see Black Canary in Injustice. And I'm super happy that she's pretty much confirmed for Injustice 2. And one of the things that I thought Black Canary could really do was to be kind of like Sindel. And obviously, the Mortal Kombat guys can make a Sindel. They got a little bit of experience, but I'd really like to see an acrobatic kind of mobile Sindel. Maybe not too many mix-ups. Obviously, I don't want Injustice to turn into MKX. So maybe not super powerful mix-up wise, but I'd like to see, Black Canary freaking flipping and crap, and then firing off the voice in the air and stuff like that. I want that kind of experience, with Black Canary. I think that would be really, really fun. Second, I'd like to see Tim Drake Robin, or Red Robin, whatever you want to go with. I don't want to see Nightwing come back as a playable character, but I would like to see a Robin, and I would prefer Tim Drake. Now, there is an asterisk by Nightwing, and I will get to that after I go through all the other characters. Another character, Etrigan. You may not know too much about Etrigan. He's not one of the more well-known or popular characters. I think people who know him like him, but I don't think he's very well explored in popular media. He seems like he'd be a really fun character to put into Injustice, at least on a visual level. So Etrigan, I would love to have Etrigan in Injustice 2. So for some other characters, Deadshot. I don't expect Deathstroke to come back, and the reason for that is that I expect him to be replaced with Deadshot. And now that Suicide Squad is coming out, Deadshot is one of the characters in Suicide Squad, and I do expect that it's going to happen that Deadshot's going to make it into Injustice 2, purely because of the DC Cinematic Universe, that they want to get people familiar with these characters, and I think that's why Deadshot's going to make it in. Some of the other characters I'm not so sure of. Maybe Enchantress. I don't know how many characters could really be making it into Injustice 2. Maybe Killer Croc, but I think Deadshot is the biggest candidate for making it into Injustice 2. After that, I'd really like to see Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy could be a very, very cool character. I was kind of wondering, would I want her to be a zoning character? And actually, I don't think so. I think I'd want her to be more of a mid-range character, using the vines and things like that to kind of control a mid-range, rather than just trying to push the opponent full screen. I don't want a full screen zoning character from Poison Ivy. I'd really like more of a mid-range kind of thing from her, and maybe some traps with different plants that she could do. I don't know, just an idea. Deadshot, of course, he'd be pretty close, I think, to Deathstroke. I think he'd be pretty easy to create in that sense. Circe is an enemy of Wonder Woman, and she's big into sorcery. Sorcery. It's close, yeah. So I think she would be fun. I don't really know if I'd want to see Ares back, and that's kind of why I want Circe. I want Wonder Woman. I'd really prefer to have, main heroes to at least have one of their villains, and not to just be a Batman show. Yes, Batman has amazing villains, but I'd really like to bring in some of the other guys. Try to expand things a little bit and not just be so Batman-centric. Black Manta kind of goes back to that thing of wanting to have, the main heroes to have one of their villains in the game. Black Manta is not really explored much, I think, in popular media at least. I think like the last time I had seen Black Manta, I didn't watch Young Justice, so maybe, I think he was in Young Justice, but I think the last time I ever saw Black Manta in like popular media was in the Super Friends animated show. If you don't understand how bad that is, it's really bad. he needs to come up. He needs to make an appearance. He needs to get some respect on his name. So I'd love to see Black Manta make it into Injustice 2. Now these last two characters, gosh, I want them in there so bad. Oh wait, there are three. Professor Zoom. That's easy. Anyway, so these last two, Atrocitus and Darkseid. Atrocitus, holy crap. And of course, Darkseid. Everybody wants to see Darkseid playable. He was in one of the stage transitions. What was it? Hall of Justice? Was that it? Where he was in the stage transition? Come on, we want to see him playable. Come on, please. Really? Do we really have to ask? Whatever. So now I have just a few more kind of options, so to speak. Gorilla Grodd, he'd be really cool. I really want Grundy because he's a grappler and the game needs something like that. Gorilla Grodd could be a replacement if Grundy were not able to make it in. Or what did I say? Yes, if Grundy wasn't able to make it in, Gorilla Grodd could be a at least decent replacement, maybe. I mean, it's an option. It's something to think about. Blue Beetle, I know a lot of people really like Blue Beetle. I have to be honest, I really don't know a dang thing about him. I think Blue Beetle has kind of come into popularity with more recent like cartoons and stuff, and I haven't been watching those. So I can't really speak to Blue Beetle, but a lot of people really like him. So, you know, there's that. Static Shock. I think Static Shock was like Jaden Smith cast as Static Shock. Was that real, or was that... I don't even remember anymore. I don't even freaking remember anymore. But I wouldn't be surprised if Static Shock came in there, and I wouldn't really be opposed to him, but, you know, I'm not really holding my breath. Power Girl, yeah. Steel, people might not know too much about Steel. That's really kind of my big thing with him. And to be honest, I don't even know that much about him. I remember I had a toy of him. I think he was in some kind of movie. He came in after Superman died, I believe. Anyway, yeah, I really liked him. I thought he was cool as heck. But whatever. And Huntress. I would love to have Huntress in Injustice 2. She hasn't really... there was that Birds of Prey... was it? Was that like... No. Oh, I can't remember. There's like some TV show I think she was in. She was in the Arrow, right? I think she was in Arrow. Yeah. Okay, so she's gotten a little bit of appreciation, but still, I want Huntress to be playable. So I mentioned before that there were some characters that I might want, depending on something else in the game, depending on kind of like gameplay. One of the big things I want in Injustice is a tag mode. I want a freaking tag mode. I need a freaking tag mode. I mean, what's the point in having these awesome superheroes if you can't 2v2 with their freaking bad guys? Like Batman and Robin. You're not gonna allow me to play with Batman and Robin together? What are you even thinking? What's the point? I want to play as Batman and Robin. Let me play as Batman and Robin. Now, if they did have a tag mode, the biggest thing that I would want, and they can do this just as DLC, you know, whatever, these characters at least. They can make them just, you know, aside from the story, whatever. I don't even freaking care. Just do it. I want it. I want the Teen Titans. And I don't want them all grown up. I will accept them all grown up. I will accept Nightwing with Cyborg and Beast Boy and Raven and Starfire. Yeah, I can go with Donna Troy, maybe Terra, but I want the core. I want the core group. I will accept them as adults, all grown up, but I would really like to see them as kids or as teenagers. You know, I get maybe that's a little corny, but I'd like to see those personalities together, just as, you know, me. You know, I mean, that's just what I like. If there was a tag mode, I would definitely want the Teen Titans to be playable characters in the game, and that's you know, if I could get that much, I could give so much around the board everywhere else. You know, if Atrocitus didn't make it in, yeah, okay, sure, I don't even care. I've got tag mode with Teen Titans. You know, that's worth a game in and of itself. So anyway, let me know. Actually, you know what? Give me a top 5. Give me a top 5 for Injustice 2. Top 5 characters to make it into Injustice 2. New characters. Not returning characters, but new characters. Give me your top 5. I'd love to see them. I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.